In module 4, understanding debt. Now, let us look at types of debts. So, debts can be good debts and bad debts. What are good debts? If you borrow in order to accumulate wealth or to generate extra income, that is a good debt. For example, student loan for education, a mortgage for a home that can appreciate in value. These are good examples of good debts. A bad debt, you borrow money that does not create value. For example, borrowing with a high interest credit debt for non-essential purchases. Payday loans with exorbitant interest rates. What are the common types of debts? Common card debt. We have common card debt. High interest debt accrued through revolving credit accounts. Student loans, debt taken on for education, often with low interest rates and deferred payments. Another type of debt is auto loans, financing for purchasing vehicles, typically secured by the vehicle itself. So you have to see whether what you have are good debts or are bad debts. A mortgage loan, for example, you as one of the types of loans, here you borrow in order to purchase a property. Now, how can we manage debt effectively? So, managing debt effectively, we need to have some strategies. For example, strategies for paying off debt. We have a strategy number 1, debt snowball method. Here, you pay off the smallest debts first before making large payments. So, for example, if you have 3 loans, somewhere you borrowed 100,000, 300,000, 600,000 respectively. So, in this snow borrow, you need, we call it debt snowball method. Here, pay small loans, then finish with bigger loans. So here you will pay off 100,000. Number 2 strategy is debt avalanche method. Here, you begin by paying loans with the highest interest. So if you have 200,000 at 25% and 500,000 at 10%, begin by paying a loan with the highest interest there. Now let us understand interest rates. Impact of interest rates on debt. So here, for example, if you have 500,000 credit card debt at 20% interest, can result in over time in over 150 in interest if only the minimum payment is made over 3 years. So it's important that before you borrow, understand how much your loan will have grown over a period of time. Avoid debt traps. Now, how can we avoid debt traps? So you need to recognize and avoid common pitfalls that lead to excessive debt. Recognizing signs of financial trouble. You need to recognize there are signs of financial trouble. For example, missing payments. So late payments can lead to high interest rates and increased debt. Those are signs of financial trouble. So relying on credit for essentials. So using credit cards for necessary expenses indicates potential financial strain. So if you always borrow money for essential needs at home, it means you are in financial trouble. Now, what are the tips for staying out of debt? There are tips that you can follow for you to stay out of debt. 1, you need to create a realistic budget. Ensure your budget accounts all necessary expenses, leaving room for savings. Because it's not important that always you have a bloated budget or a bloated budget. It's not good. Limit credit card use. You need to limit. Building a healthy relationship with the credit. So, know your credit score. Regularly check your credit report and understand how it affects borrowing options. Responsible use of your credit card. So, here, that's the end of module 4, which talks about the types of debts, bad debt and the good debt, and how we can pay them off in order to avoid the financial distress. Thank you very much for paying attention. You can also visit us on YouTube by typing @nefta, youtube.com/@nefta.